We're going to be working on multiplying polynomials. Before we start with that, I want to refresh our memory with this example, the 3,241 times 21. The way we usually do it is we multiply 1 times everything right here. So 1 times 1 will be 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2, 2. And 1 times 3 will be 3. Then we skip this space. We leave it blank. We move on to the second. The reason why we're leaving this space blank is because we're moving to the second number. 2 times 1 will just be 2. 2 times 4, that's 8. And 2 times 3 is 6. Next step, what we do, we add. We don't have nothing underneath the 1. We can put a 0 right there just to make it easier. 1 plus 0 will just be 1. 4 plus 2, 6. 2 plus 8, 10. So we say 0 and carry the 1. And 3 plus 6 is 9 plus that 1 will be 10. So the answer for this one will be 10,061. So the reason why we go with the example first is because we're going to be working these polynomials the same way that we did right there. So for instance, the first one that we're going to do, this means multiplication whenever you have a number outside the parentheses. So the way we're going to be working it is we're going to write whatever we have inside the parentheses first, multiplied by the outside number. 7 times negative 8. Positive times a negative will be a negative. 7 times 8 is 56. So negative 56. Then we move on to this one. A positive times a negative is a negative. 7 times 5 is 35. Since that 5 has a v, we just bring the v down. If we had another letter right here, we just add our exponents. Now this, we can't collect 9 terms. That will be our final answer. Now, what happens when we have a letter outside with the number? In this case, we just have the number by itself. So again, we're going to start with whatever we have inside the parentheses. In this case, we have the negative 2x minus 3, and we're going to be multiplying it by the 2x. So the first thing that we're going to multiply is negative 3 and 2. So these together. 2 times negative 3 will give us negative 6. This one doesn't have an x, just this one, just bring it down. Because we're also multiplying the letter to it. Now right here, a positive times a negative will give us a negative. 2 times 2 is 4, and then x times x. Well, each one of these x's has an invisible 1. Since we're multiplying, what happens to the exponents? We're going to add them. So 1 plus 1 gives us 2. That means we have a total of 2 x's right there. Right here, we can't combine like terms because this one has an exponent as 2, this one has an invisible 1. We can't put them together, they're not the same thing. So this right here will be our final answer. The same way we're going to be working on number 3. We're going to multiply each one of these to everything that we have inside the other parentheses. That means that you can start with either one. You can put it at the top, it's up to you which one you're going to start with. So AP minus 2, it will still give you the same answer, times 6p plus 2. So the first thing that we're going to do, multiply this 2 to everything right here. 2 times negative 2 gives us a negative 4. Then we will move on to the next term. 2 times 8 will be 16. 16 what? This one has a p, so just bring the p down. We did that one, so we cross it out. It's like we eliminate that space, or we put a 0, we leave it blank, however you guys want to do it. Then we move on to the next one. 6p times negative 2. A positive times a negative is a negative. 6 times 2 will be 12. And then this one is a p, so we just bring the p down. Then we move on to this one. 6 times 8 will be 48. And how many p's do we have? We have 1 and 1. So all together, it makes a total of 2 p's. What we do right here, we just add. The reason why I like this way to do it is because it lines up the like terms. So we just put the numbers together. So this will be negative 4. 16 minus 12 gives us 4. Since it's p, just bring the p down. Right here, we're not multiplying, we're just combining, so it's just p by itself. It won't be p squared. And then this one, we don't have nothing to combine it with. Oh, that should be a positive p. This one, just bring it down. So 48p squared. This right here will be our final answer for that one. Now what happens when we have 3 different things inside our parentheses? We're still going to be working with it the same way. So we're going to say n squared plus 6n minus 4. We're going to be multiplying by 2n minus 4. So we're going to start with the first one. A negative times a negative, that gives us a positive. 4 times 4 is 16. We did that one, we move on to the next term. A negative times a positive is a negative. 4 times 6 is 24. That one has an n, so bring the n with it. And lastly, right here we have an invisible 1. So negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. That one has an n squared, the one doesn't have it, so just bring the n squared down. We did the negative 4 already, that we're going to move on to the 2n. 2n, so that means we're not going to do it in the first spot, we're going to move on to the second spot. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, that one has an n, so we just put the n. You see how we're lining up the like terms. 2 times 6 will be 12, to positive 12, and then n times n, we have a total of 2n, so it's going to be n to the second power. And the last one, 2 times 1 is 2. How many n's do we have in total right here? We have 2 right here, 1 right here. They make a total of 3, so n to the third power. What happens right here? We're going to combine like terms. Basically, we're just going to be adding them. The 16, we don't have nothing to combine it with, so we just drop it down. It's going to be plus 16. Negative 24 and negative 8 gives us negative 32. And since both of them are negative, it's like we owe 24 to one person. To another person, we owe them 8. So altogether, we're going to owe a total of $32. Both of them share n, so we just bring the n down. Right here, negative 4 plus 12, we owe $4. We have 12 in our pocket. If we pay, we still have left over 8. 8 what? What are we talking about? N squared. And then this one, we don't have nothing to combine it with, so we just drop it down. It'll be 2n to the power of 3. This will be our final answer.